and welcome back to Cycle Sync with G. In this episode, I want to talk about seed cycling. Seed cycling is a term that I've thrown around in a couple of videos thus far, and I mention it a lot on my website. There's a lot of recipes that incorporate seed cycling. So I feel like an entire video dedicated to seed cycling is definitely in order, especially because it's a method that I used personally to regulate my own hormones and get my menstrual cycle back. So I back it to the moon. It's incredibly simple to do, and doing it properly can have the most incredible benefits. I would recommend seed cycling to anybody who firstly has an irregular or totally absent menstrual cycle. We're going to get into it in this video, but the specific nutrients found in each seed and the entire process of seed cycling itself reinforces the body's natural endocrine rhythm. So over time, your body will start to regulate itself. Also, if you're getting crazy PMS symptoms and really painful periods, seed cycling can really help with that, because often that's to do with estrogen dominance or hormonal imbalance in general. And what seed cycling does is balances the hormones naturally. Of course, there's other things that might be going on, so consult your doctor, or I'd highly recommend acupuncture. That's a natural way to balance the entire body out. But anyway, back to seed cycling. Seed cycling is essentially eating. It sounds incredibly woo-woo, but you eat 1 tablespoon of flax seeds and pumpkin seeds in the first 14 days of your cycle, and then you switch to 1 tablespoon of sunflower seeds and 1 tablespoon of sesame seeds in the second half of your cycle. Very simple, sounds it. All you gotta do is, it's 2 tablespoons of seeds, 1 pumpkin, 1 flax, or 1 sunflower, 1 sesame per day, and that's it. That's all you gotta do. So yeah, that's literally it. Your 14 days starts on the first day of your cycle. So this is why tracking your cycle is so important, but I mean, everyone's gonna know the first day of your period, right? I mean, it's very obvious. So that is your day 1. From day 1, you will eat 1 tablespoon of pumpkin seeds and 1 tablespoon of flax seeds every day for 14 days. 14 days only, no more, no less. 14 days should be around the day that you ovulate. But if you don't and your cycle is irregular, this is why this is great to instigate the natural rhythm. So on day 14, then you will switch. You have 1 tablespoon of sunflower seeds and 1 tablespoon of sesame seeds every day for 14 days. Regardless of whether your period comes or not, you will then switch back to flax seeds and pumpkin seeds, and then 14 days later. This is regardless of your cycle and what it's doing at the time. What it aims to do is to bring your body back to this 28-day rhythm. So you want to keep it 14 days and 14 days. This is all very well and good if you do have a period and you know when your period started. If you don't currently have a cycle, which is where I actually started, this is next level woo-woo, is I started pumpkin and flax seeds, so my follicular phase, on the new moon. I ate pumpkin and flax seeds for 14 days, which took me up to full moon, at which point I then switched to sunflower and sesame seeds for 14 days until the next new moon. It's actually crazy, and there's a lot of science that shows that women are very linked to the moon. So that was just a method that I used, because most women, interestingly, will either ovulate or menstruate on the full and new moon. Very interesting. Anyway, so I believe that this method works twofold. The first, I've kind of already mentioned them both, but the first is inducing that natural rhythm. And the second is, of course, but maybe not so obviously, the nutrients in each seed that you eat. All 4 of those seeds contain potent quantities of certain minerals and nutrients that support certain processes that naturally happen within your cycle anyways, which is why it is pumpkin and flax and sunflower and sesame seeds. So the first one being rhythms. Essentially what you're doing is enforcing a rhythm on your own body. So the method here is that your body recognizes it and kicks itself back into this rhythm by itself. So just as if you had decided to join the 5 a.m. club and you were waking up at 5 a.m. every morning, you would naturally, over time, speaking strictly scientifically, by waking up at 5 a.m. every morning, you're naturally going to feel tired earlier in order to wake up at 5 a.m. and then you will naturally start waking up earlier and feeling tired earlier. So that is essentially inducing a circadian rhythm adaptation on yourself. So using the same methodology, by eating certain seeds, you're telling your body, okay, this is follicular phase, this is 14 days, this is a block, this is the first half, this is 2 weeks. And then you having your sunflower and sesame seeds, and that's okay, that's another like separate but also equal time block of another 2 weeks. And then you're going back to the first, and you see how it is, you're inducing this rhythm on yourself. And then of course the seeds themselves, as I mentioned, contain minerals and micronutrients that support certain biological chemical processes. So these 4 seeds contain phytochemicals, which are plant minerals, and lignans. So we're going to start with flax seeds. Flax seeds are rich in lignans, which are plant compounds which help modulate estrogen. Since estrogen starts to rise in the follicular phase, lignans are going to help balance the production of estrogen and also prevent excessive spikes in estrogen. What we kind of want to prevent is this estrogen dominance in the follicular phase. So phytoestrogens, which is a plant-based estrogen, support a healthy increase in estrogen without causing any dominance. There's a lot of science behind that, but that's the basic fact. Flax seeds also are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which reduce inflammation and support healthy cell function, which is also great in this first half of the cycle. Then you got your pumpkin seeds, which are rich in zinc and magnesium. Zinc actually supports progesterone production, which is important in the second half of the cycle. But by raising your zinc in the first half, you're kind of already preparing for the second half so that it creates a smooth transition into the luteal phase. Zinc is also an essential nutrient and really important for ovulation. So as estrogen rises and the body prepares and works towards ovulation, which is your day 14, the zinc that you've been eating from those pumpkin seeds is going to facilitate a healthy ovulation and make sure that you ovulate on day 14. Pumpkin seeds also contain a great amount of iron, which is of course especially beneficial during the first half of the cycle where you've had your menstrual phase, which obviously you're losing a lot of blood, you're losing iron, and then restoring those iron stores after your period. Iron is going to help with that. So that in a nutshell, in a seashell, is the first half, the follicular phase of the menstrual cycle. Then, according to a textbook, but most normal regular menstrual cycles, you will then ovulate around day 14, upon which you will switch to sunflower seeds and sesame seeds. Sunflower seeds are particularly known for vitamin E and selenium. Vitamin E supports progesterone production, which is crucial for luteal phase. In the luteal phase, progesterone is rising. It is the dominant hormone in this phase, and it's super important because it helps maintain the uterine lining, which is thickening in this phase, and also helps prevent PMS symptoms like breast tenderness, irritability. Selenium is a rogue but also a very important mineral. Selenium supports the liver detoxification, which is crucial for helping the body break down excess hormones and preventing estrogen dominance or estrogen buildup. We don't want this because this is the progesterone show. This is where progesterone is dominant. Sunflower seeds also contain a little bit of magnesium. Magnesium is super important, especially around ovulation. Magnesium tends to drop, so you will be restoring that magnesium around that. And then magnesium also helps with muscular cramps, which you might feel in the second half of your cycle when your prostaglandins start to rise and the body's starting to feel a little bit more like tense and tight, and that's as a result of rising progesterone and your prostaglandins. And it can also reduce stress and anxiety, which you might be feeling in this naturally slightly a bit more touchy, sensitive, anxious phase. Sesame seeds contain lignans and super high in calcium. Lignans, again, are the ones that help regulate estrogen metabolism, which again in this phase, this is not the estrogen show, so lignans are going to help prevent estrogen dominance. Calcium is also going to help prevent PMS symptoms by supporting the absorption of that magnesium, and in turn supporting muscle relaxation, nerve function, and helping with moods, anxiety, stress, and all of those. So hopefully that explains a little bit of the nutritional side and why those specific seeds are used in both the follicular and the luteal phase. It's incredibly easy method to use that has incredible benefits. The biggest question that you might have is, how do I eat those seeds? I mean, you're welcome to just guzzle 2 tablespoons of seeds every morning, which sure is like you're getting your seeds in, that's great. But if that's not your thing, firstly, I would recommend getting kind of bulk-sized packs of pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, sesame seeds, and flax seeds. And you can pre-mix them already, so you have 2 Quinoa jars, one with your pumpkin and your flax in, and one with your sunflower and your sesame seeds in. And then you just take 2 tablespoons of that one on your follicular mornings or on the first 14 days, and then 2 tablespoons of your sunflower sesame mix in your luteal phase, or you can keep them separate if you prefer. But some ways that you can incorporate these seeds without it being very strange and you just eating seeds are, of course, popping them in your smoothie. A tablespoon of sunflower seeds and sesame seeds are actually delicious in a smoothie with banana and dates and cacao and something nice like that. And same with your follicular phase seeds, great in a smoothie. Again, banana, almond milk, something simple like that. So smoothies are a great one to just chuck them in and then you've got your seeds in for the day. Overnight oats or overnight chia puddings. This is actually a great one too because the seeds will then be activated and easier to digest. So just pop your 2 tablespoons of seeds into your overnight oats or into your chia. Salad toppers, really great on top of anything really. I also put them on top of my omelette sometimes or my scrambled eggs in the morning. You can make seed crackers. I also love to just make a very simple seed milk. Using my NutriBullet, I'll just pop the 2 tablespoons of seeds in with about a full cup of filtered water, a little pinch of salt, and anything else I feel like if it's in my luteal phase, maybe some beetroot powder, and if it's follicular phase, maybe I put a matcha in there, matcha powder, or just the plain milk, and I'll just either drink the milk by itself, or that's great on top of porridge. Just as you can make a milk, you can also make a cream, so just less water in there. And that cream's delicious on top of, I don't know, stewed fruit or pancakes or something like that, or even on top of soup. On my website, where I have cycle synced recipes, there's a filter which you can select seed cycling. And I have a few recipes up there already which incorporate the phase-specific seeds in the phase-specific recipe. So make sure you check those out. If you have any questions or there's anything that I haven't covered on seed cycling, please let me know in the comments. As I said, this is a method that I've used personally, back it to the moon, love it. It worked for me. I still do it. Even now that I have a very regular cycle, I will still have my seeds in the morning, and that keeps my hormones balanced. So if you have any questions, you just let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Hope this was helpful.